Hey y'all, it's Tia with the Emerging Adult, and today I have my best friend Ayana.
Hey y'all.
And so we're making soap right now, but we decided why not invite y'all into our conversation while we're doing a little, hands-on activity, some more than others, because I'm struggling, but that's okay. But today we're talking about emotional and mental liberation. Just kind of like how we've grown from like our college days, even like from last year. And just, how we're growing into beautiful, emotionally and mentally intelligent women. I think that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dig into the emotional aspect. I like to think that I am an emotionally intelligent person, but sometimes, I don't know. I feel like when we have our conversations, you kind of be like, actually, you're not.
Girl, you only see one side.
Of me?
Of a situation or a conversation or like a discussion.
Okay, you're right. But that's why God made therapy, and that's why I'm in therapy now, and that's why my therapist got me together the other day. I'm trying to expand my horizons about being like more in tune with not just my own emotions, but with other people's emotion.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I'm that girl when it comes to like emotional intelligence.
I mean, well, we all feel like emotionally we're mature and we're there and we just like we right. Like I'm right in my stance. I'm right and I'm mature enough to say how I feel and whatever, but we can all grow in that area.
I guess. How do you feel like you've grown from that area?
Well, first of all, I wasn't very mature in my own emotions. Like, there was a time when growing up, period, I didn't realize that I didn't really express myself, like that until college. Because growing up, I had two modes, okay? Like, I was either, and I wouldn't even say, like, I was either happy. Like, I was either calm and in, like, a decent mood, or I was expressing anger.
It literally was 0 or 100.
Yeah, like, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, I mean, everything cool. Like, girl, you want to go do this? You want to go do that? And then somebody say something I don't like, or somebody say something like, even as far as, like, I wasn't able to express sadness or express hurt or express disappointment. Everything just led to, like, how I expressed it was in anger. Like, I was just mad because I felt like
people were trying you.
Not necessarily that people were trying me, but I felt like anger was the only safe space. Like, it was the only safe expression. Because if you express sadness, you weak. Like, if you express disappointment, it's like, it's kind of like certain things are not respected when you express it. So it's kind of like I didn't know how to. I didn't allow myself to express it. I just kind of dealt with it in private, or not even dealt with it at all. I just was like, so I just kind of brushed it under the rug. So until, like, I think it took you and Derek to just be like, you're not transparent and you just be mad. Like, you just be mad. Like, it's like you feel like everybody trying you, and it's like, nah, you not about to play with me like that. Like, don't do that to me.
It was always on the defense.
Yeah.
And you're like, girl.
And I was just like, but I think now I'm at a place to where I'm safe in each emotion, mostly.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I still struggle with being sad sometimes because it's a foreign thing to me. I don't necessarily know how to be sad, so I just kind of, deal with like, oh, that sucks. And then I kind of move on, but I'm still learning and I'm still growing to be safe because I learned that crying and stuff doesn't make you weak. Even though I'm not a crier, I don't cry, but now I'm in tune with my emotions to where I can feel how I feel, and I know that it's okay. Like, I don't have to, like, I'm barely angry now. Like, I don't know the last time I was angry.
Probably something I did.
But I'm not even angry with you when something you like is done, because a lot of stuff is like, I'm annoyed because I'm like,
I be doing some dumb stuff.
Like, did you see me walking through the door? Yeah. Then why would you shut it? Like, why would you shut the door and I'm walking?
It made sense to me in my head. But I do have a question real quick. So, did you think I was weak when we were, like, first became friends? Because I cry. I still cry. I love a good cry. Was I a weak individual to you?
No, I don't think I looked at you as a weak individual.
It was like, why does the girl cry so much?
You're like, why you cry all the time? Like, dang. Everything is like, you happy, you cry. You sad, you cry.
I'm mad.
You mad,
yep.
You cry. And I'm just like, I don't know how to decipher your emotions.
It's a good emotional release for me. Okay?
I never met anybody who liked to cry.
I do.
And so, yeah. But I guess that came from, like, and just speaking on it, like, growing up, nobody in my household was a crier except for my sister. Mm-hmm. Like, if she was angry, she would cry. If she was sad, you hurt her feelings, like, she would cry. And so it was just like, we would laugh, be like, oh, she's emotional or whatever. Like, you know she gonna cry or it's emotional. So we took, and I know that I took that as a kind of like a not being able to, you know, stand up for yourself, or not being able to express stuff, or not being able. So I won't say that I looked at people who cry as weak. It just was foreign to me. And so I guess because it was foreign, I didn't understand it. But also now I understand that nothing is wrong with crying. Like, I'm not a crier. Like, so I understand that people handle and they deal with emotions, they deal with things differently than what anybody else will. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't make them any less capable of handling what life has thrown at them than I am.
Yeah. I don't even know where I got crying from, because nobody in my family cries. I'm literally probably the only crier in my family. But I don't know why that is. That's interesting. I think I saw my mama cry maybe like 3 times in my whole life. One time was when I went, like, my first time going off to college. Before that was the time I wrote that letter about being poor. But I don't know. I felt like, I guess learning from her, I guess it was kind of like, no matter how you feel, you still got to show up and do what you got to do. Yeah. But I just felt like, I'm going to do what I got to do, but I'm going to still cry about it. But I always thought, like, crying about it was a form of, like, releasing my emotions, or, like, letting people know how I feel emotionally. But even now, like, you would tell me still, like, you're not transparent. And I'd be like, but I'm sitting here crying. I'm sitting here being vulnerable. But I think it takes for me to, like, get to, like, a certain breaking point. I'm still learning how to share how I feel in the moment versus letting things build up. Yeah, but it's also how we've been, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like, it's how we've been taught and how we've seen that how you deal with stuff, because a lot of times you don't see black women crying. And you don't see them, which is probably where the whole angry black woman thing came from, because, you know. Or the strong black woman. Yeah. But because if anything, we know how to deal with a situation and just handle it. Like, it can literally break us, and we're still going to straighten our back and just handle it. And so I think it's the whole mindset that, no, like, you don't cry, like, you don't express
certain things, because when you express, hey, you hurt me to somebody, it gives them like, it's like, girl, you giving him power over you. No, you hurt me. Like that was not good. That was not okay. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like we haven't been safe to express our feelings, and the only way that it does come out is mostly through anger.
Yep. Because we let it build up.
Yeah.
So we're angry, obviously. But yeah, like we don't pace ourselves, or we haven't been taught how to pace ourselves and really be okay with saying how you feel, even if it like make somebody else mad, or like I think not in a bad way. Like dealing with you have helped me to see. Like you tell me all the time, like I can't control how somebody reacts to what I say to them. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, do I like muffle how I feel and make myself feel bad, or say how I feel with the chance of somebody else being mad? I still struggle with that a little bit too. I'm getting better, but
yeah, I think growing and realizing that you have to, you can't neglect yourself emotionally just to satisfy somebody else emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say, oh, yeah, I don't want to say that because it's going to hurt your feelings. And it's truly, I'm not being malicious. I'm not saying something that is horrible about you. I'm literally letting you know that something that you did impacted me in a negative way, and I'm not responsible for how you handle that information. I'm only responsible for letting you know and releasing that information from myself.
But that's tough, though.
I mean, it is.
And that kind of lead me to thinking about, like, people pleasing. I know that we both dealt with that. Like, people pleasing. And listen, I spent a lot of money in therapy trying to get over people pleasing. It is so hard to break. Like, emotionally trying to please people, physically trying to please people. Like, it's just too much. And I don't know. I know you dealt with people pleasing as well. Do you feel like you still deal with that?
Absolutely. Yep. I still deal with it, and I don't think it's something that you just like, oh, I went to therapy. I woke up, I took the steps. I applied myself the way that they say I should, and now I don't deal with it. No, I still struggle with it. Like, when it comes time to make a decision that's going to impact not only myself but somebody else, I struggle with, who do I make the decision for?
Yeah.
Like, I know if I make this decision for me, it's going to put the other person at an inconvenience possibly.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like, well, I know I can struggle through this a little bit longer, or I can keep doing it, or I can keep going. When it's like, no, like, you really don't want to do this. You really don't want to, like, this is really going out of your way. This is really like, you don't have to do this. And sometimes you can you can do stuff for people and it's not considered people pleasing. Like, it's like, yeah, I got the time, I can do it. Yeah. But it's the times when it's like, I really don't want to do this. Like, every fiber of my being is telling me I don't want to do this. So it's just kind of like what mental, emotional, and physical status is going to put you in if you push through and do it. Yeah. Like, so it just kind of comes down to that. And I think I'll talk stuff out, and even sometimes, like, I'll come to you and I'll be like, I really don't want to do this no more. But if I don't do it, then this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or that. And I'll say this, I'll give an example. Like, even when it came down to me switching from elementary to high school with teaching, I was like, I'm going to tough it out a little while longer because I want to stay. And I want to, make sure I don't want to put my principal at a disadvantage. I don't want to, leave some of my kids. I'll wait until they go to middle school. Yeah. And it just got to a point where it was kind of like circumstances just would not allow me to stay. And so I was like, yeah, I gotta leave. Like, there's nothing. And you was just like,
I was like, high school was lit.
You was like, it's so much of a, like,
it's so chill.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, no, I'm used to it, so I can push through, I can continue to, and it was just like, no, like, this is literally messing with your mental health.
Yeah. I mean, it probably also didn't help that I would come to you every day and be like, you come like with a stressful day, and I was like, yep, I just chilled in the office today.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, I was like trying to get everybody in high school. But, yeah, to your point, yeah, it's like, it becomes detrimental at some point. So it's like, I'm about to really nut up on people.
Right. And so I think my how I deal with situations like that and like stuff that I feel like is going to be, I have to kind of directly face it head on. Sometimes I just be like, I'm not going to deal with it. And
I'm like, girl, no, you cannot do that.
Which is why, okay, that's a part of I am now trying not to ghost people as much. But I will ghost somebody instead of being like, hey, I know we had a good conversation, but I'm not really, I don't really like you. Instead of kind of just, I kind of run from confrontation sometimes. So instead of having a conversation with somebody, or when it's time for me to quit doing something, instead of having a conversation with a person, I'll send a text message. And it's just like, well, that was the wrong way. That was so unprofessional. But I will literally just be like, no, I'm not dealing with it. And it's just like, you can't do that. And she's like, no, you need to tell him. You need to tell. And I'm like, I will literally ghost somebody. But I'm trying to now, if something is impacting me and I'm to a point where I know I don't want to do this, I'll try to have a conversation to say, hey, I don't want to do this. Now, whether you choose to take heed to that or not,
that's on you.
That's on you. That's out of my hands. But now I'm to a point where it's just like, I'm going to have a conversation initially, and then I'm going to go for what I know, and I'm just going to disappear. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Because, yeah.
But at least I warned you before I did.
I warned you. That's growth, okay?
That is growth.
That's growth.
That.
Because
that
I would,
growth.
Disappearing would be my first response. Like,
yeah.
I'm just going to ignore the situation as a whole. And I'm just choosing not to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's like, girl, 3 months later, you still dealing with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, it be like that sometimes. It really do. But I lost my train of thought. What you just said? You ghost people?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything about ghosting.
I choose not to deal with situations.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. I remember one time we had a conversation, and I was like, I guess the party be like, I don't care. Like, you always say I'm so nonchalant, and I just be like, listen, I'm nonchalant because I genuinely really don't care. And I think I really had to, like, it's going to sound really bad, so sorry in advance, but I really had to learn that with, like, the family aspect of life, because, like, so my immediate family is in a different city than I am. And so now I've been gone for 12 years. And it's still a struggle for them to understand that I am, one, a fully grown adult. Two, I have a whole life that I built for myself here. And like, my life don't revolve around my hometown and stuff compared to like how it was like my freshman year of college. Freshman year of college, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car, I didn't have nothing to really keep me here. So yeah, any weekend, sure, come get me, I'm going home. But like, fast forward 12 years later, I had to come to a point where it's like, dang, I really do want to come to this birthday party, but however, I have something work-related I got to do, or I'm exhausted, so I need the weekend to rest. And they don't really understand that sometimes, but it got to a point where it's like, sorry, not sorry. I mean, I get there when I get there.
I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be there for every milestone. Mm-hmm. I want to be there for every new and exciting thing, and it kind of sucks like going sometimes because it's like life is literally moving on without you.
Yeah, it is.
So it's kind of like I'll go and I'll visit, and all these new people I don't know. All these new events and all these new things have happened, and I don't know about it, but I realize everybody is grown and living their own life, and it's kind of a struggle, and I try not to feel guilty as often, but I do feel guilty because it's like I'm not there. But like you said, you've built an entire life here, and sometimes, first of all, I don't know why people think teaching is a smooth job. I don't know why.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. By the time you come home, it's mentally draining. Like, you literally have been on go, dealing with people, the personalities, dealing with everything from early that morning. And so by the time you get off, you kind of want to just take time. But the weekend is totally off limits.
Yep. But then, like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but even like after work, yeah, we get off early, but life still happens after work. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like I'm going to work, I'm coming straight home. I mean, most days it is, but sometimes like I'm going to work, I gotta go grocery shopping, or I have rehearsal, or I have to record, or this, that. So it's like teaching is not as easy as people think. Because it's mentally draining, because I'm not going to say that, but it's mentally draining because you just have to deal with so much from not only students, but adults too. Yeah. And it's too much. Like, we on summer break now, but I think the other day we talked about this. We're on summer break, but this is our chance to do stuff that we can't do during the school year. Like travel, all these like doctor's appointments, trying new things. Like, we can't do that stuff during the school year because we only get 3 personal days, and then you can't use all your sick days. So it's like you gotta balance it out. Like, people see that as, oh, I get the summer off, but like, yeah, we do get the summer off, but we're still in a sense working. Yeah, so it's kind of like a toll that kind of weighs on you. It's like it takes a toll on you. Like it weighs on you because it's like, I want to be there, but I also know I need to show up for myself too. Like, and sometimes you're literally coming down from 10 months. I don't care about them little 2 weeks of vacation we get for winter break, for Christmas, or the 1 week that we get for Thanksgiving, because it goes by so quickly that you're right back at work. So you're literally coming off of 10 months of just like emotional and mental strife, and it's draining. So by the time you get to the summer, it's just kind of like, I need to kind of decompress, and I need to then like try to like, okay, I'm gonna travel, okay, I'm gonna do this, okay, I'm gonna do that, okay, now I can get up and go work out in the middle of the day. Now I can go and I can go sit in a coffee shop and just do whatever, or I can go and have brunch in the middle of the week, or I can go and I do. So the want and the desire to be there for everybody is still a form of people pleasing, and it's still you struggling with it, and it's still you having to decide, okay, in this moment, am I going to like be and do the things that I set out to do, or am I going to break those goals for myself to be there and be tugged in several, like to experience more strife, like mental and emotional strain? Because honestly, let's be real, it's not the same going and visiting home. Once you're home, you're able to be there for a good 1 to 2 days, and then you need to be back in your own space, because it's like, first of all, rent is high. I pay rent. And rent just increased. Okay? Right. For a space that I need to be in. I need to be in my own space. I need to be in my own area. I need to be able to move and go freely and do whatever it is that I need to do. So I didn't know that growing up, and I think I was having a conversation
with somebody, and I was just like, I just want to be the person that I was before all the. And she was just like, I get it. You mourning the fact that you're growing up. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that's a process that happens. And so
it is.
I'm like, dang, this is a new emotion. Like, I never felt this before, and I could not figure out what's wrong with me. Like, why am I feeling this? Yeah. And she was just like, you're mourning the fact that you're not, your innocence, basically. You're not that same person that you were. Like, you're maturing, you're growing. So, yeah, you're going to have more life experiences, and you're going to have a different outlook because you're growing up.
And I think, just to touch on the family part, I think they still see us as the 18-year-olds that we were when we, like, left home. And it's like, I mean, I'm sure she's in there somewhere. However, you got to know the Tia now. Yeah. The Tia now can't just get up and go like that. The Tia now, you know, is trying to put herself first because, like, growing up, well, I'm the oldest, so, like, I had a lot of responsibilities. But older siblings have a lot of responsibilities that necessarily the middle or the younger sibling do not have. Mm-hmm. So, like, I was not taught to, but I took on a lot as a teenager. I would say, not a child, as a teenager, like having to like babysit my brother. If my mom worked late, having to cook, and not necessarily good meals, but I cooked. It was something for substance, okay? And like just like little things like that. And so I was even talking to my therapist the other day about that, and she was like, yeah, you pretty much, you're trying to unravel like 20 plus years of taking care of people. And so it's like, I'm trying to get out of that. So.
No, listen.
No, I know. So yeah, I'm trying to get out of that. So I'm sorry if you don't understand, but you kind of have to understand because this is where I am now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is. Like I always tell you, I don't care.
Y'all, and when she first told me that, because we were having a conversation, and she was just like, you just so serious about everything. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm the goofiest person I know. Like, I'm literally always laughing. Everything is literally always a joke to me. So when she was like, you're so serious about life. Like, you just always just so uptight and just so, and I was like, what? She was just like, and so I had to realize that it's not on me. It's not my responsibility to take care. I don't have no man right now. I ain't got no kids yet. I am a free young tenderoni. Hear me? So I'm not responsible for anybody but me right now. So taking responsibility for like trying to be the fixer, trying to help everybody out, trying to deal with everybody else's issues. I'm just like, hey. And see, that trickled over into my romantic life, because these men come in and I was like so bad, y'all. I wanted to be the girl that was like, you know, I accept you for who you are. Like, I'm not, you don't have to have,
yes, you do,
be making $70,000. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to be doing all this. I accept you for where you at in life, like, you know. And I know that I have a lot of like connections or whatever, and I know that so it's like, you tell me you have hopes and dreams. Okay, I can put you in like contact with this person, but then I'm like, hey, girl, this ain't even your man for real. Like,
right?
Yes, you need to come. Okay, you got a dream of being a chef. Have you cooked in the kitchen before? Like, I'm not going to, I can't fix all of this stuff for you. It's not my responsibility. I can't take on all this stuff. Like, not saying that I'm not going to be there for your hopes and your dreams and all this stuff, but when you my man.
Right.
Absolutely. Like, so as of right now, I'm not responsible for anybody. And when she was, I took on that mentality. I started telling myself, like, I don't even care.
Isn't it? It's so freeing.
I don't care. I don't care.
Y'all ever get so bad. She would stress me out. And I'm like, why are you stressed that I put myself in the situation? And now I'm stressed out even more because now you stressed. It's like, girl, I'm going to do what I want to do. Whether it hurt me or whatever. That's for me to learn and for me to have to go through and deal with and figure out how I need to live my life. You can't put that pressure on yourself. And ever since then, she hasn't looked back.
I sure haven't. I be like, I don't care. I don't care.
It be in the middle of a conversation. Because the other day you did it. We was talking about something. And I felt you getting worked up. And you said, I don't care. And I said,
I have to stop myself and I be like, hey, girl. We don't care.
It's not that deep.
We don't care. I'm not about to sit here and stress out on something that you adamant about. Like, if you are adamant about if you adamant about walking into a dark alley, hey.
Call me, girl.
Call me when you get to the other side. Like, I'm trying to tell you, hey, that alley is not smart. Don't go through that dark alley. Like, okay, go ahead, girl.
Right.
I'll holler at you later. Because I'm not trying to have no high blood pressure.
Nope, no diabetes.
I'm not trying to. You get diabetes from stress?
Do you?
I'm asking you that.
I don't know.
You said no diabetes.
I'm talking about health issues.
I was saying high blood pressure because it's stress.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
I didn't know you can get diabetes from stress, but okay.
You might can.
Okay.
When you stress, eat.
Okay. Tie it together, girl, however you need to. But I'm not trying to have high blood pressure. I'm not trying to be on no medicine that I don't want to be on. Y'all, it was to the point where I was just like, I need something. Like,
do you need one of my anxiety pills?
I need something because I'm stressed. Like, I don't even understand why I'm stressed, but just stopping and being like, hey, I'm not putting all of this on me. Like, I'm not taking all of this on. I'm not doing this. Like, I don't want that for me.
Yeah. I think, just going back real quick, that's also part of emotional intelligence, too, is learning how to not take on, like, listening or being there for people, but not taking on their emotions. Because if you're having a bad day, I don't want to have a bad day just because you having a bad day. Mm-hmm. I can be there for you in your bad day and be like, girl, I'm so sorry to hear that. You need some cookies. You need, well, not a spa day, because, yeah. But you need like a girls' night or something to kind of cheer you up. But I can't be sad. Or
we're not gonna both be walking around here sad.
Yeah.
Cause your sadness ain't in that aspect. Now, of course, if my friend's sad, I feel that. I don't want you to be sad, like
Yeah,
but
most like the bad day part.
Yeah.
Like,
but for every little thing, your shoe broke at work. What I'm gonna do about it?
You laugh. Cause one time you did laugh at me when my shoe broke.
I did.
That wasn't funny. I had them other little what you call them, moon shoes or something for the whole day. But that's okay. I'm sorry. That triggered me.
Yeah, I see that.
Cause you did laugh. You just laughed at me.
I was on duty. What was I supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Finish your statement. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't know what I was saying.
You was talking about if your shoe broke at work, what am I gonna do about it? Basically saying I can't let your emotions or your situations impact me.
I can't just be so easily moved,
Ooh, that was good. Easily moved. That touched me. I don't know why.
I can't be so I can't let every situation, and I struggled with that, taking on everybody's emotions. Like, I can't be sad too. Like, that's how that fixer, like, literally, I had to listen to myself one time because my friend came to me and she was just like, I don't have no babysitter, people won't help me with watching my kids. And I was just like, girl, I don't be doing nothing. If you need me to watch. And then it was just like everything, and I get that, being like, hey, I'm here. Like, if you need anything. But it's like I listened to myself and every problem that she had. And at that point, she was just venting.
You were trying to fix
She just needed somebody to listen to her. I was trying to give a solution. I literally was racking my brain like, dang, why don't I know nothing about that? It's not your place.
First of all, You haven't experienced parenthood yet.
I ain't a parent. I ain't nobody mama.
But you can't help her.
I don't know. I don't know about that. So now, like, it's just like, I can listen to you vent, but I can't tell you how to be a parent.
Right.
I can't tell. I can tell you something from the child's perspective. If you have no, like, seriously, a coworker was talking to me about her daughter, and I'm like, I can tell you how that feels from the child's perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't have kids, so I can't tell you that. I ain't been married. I can't tell you how to deal with your problems with your husband.
Right.
I can be a friend and I can listen to you vent, but I'm not going to tell you he wrong, you wrong, you need to do this, y'all need to do that. I'm not going to do that because I never been married. I don't know.
And that is y'all married. Y'all signed a marriage certificate. I ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with it.
I don't know. So, I think long story short, I think we just are both in a stage where we're still figuring out. We have come a long way, but we still have some, areas of improvement regarding, especially emotionally. I speak for myself, for me. Emotionally, for you?
What?
Like, you still feel like you have, like, room for improvement there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like you always grow.
Yeah, so.
Always have room for growth.
Yeah, so I think, everybody's doing the best they can with what they got. And as you get older and as you learn and mature, you get to come to the point where you be like, I don't care. Say it with me. I don't care. I don't care. Say it with me. I don't care. See, why you always do me like that?
Sickening.
Anyway, moral of the story is learn, grow, and learn how to put yourself first and tell people I don't care. Got any last words for the people? Okay, that's a no. All right. Well, we want to thank y'all for joining us. Update on the soaps. Hers turned out very well. Mine
It didn't.
turned out.
This is not the consistency that it's supposed to be.
Mine is paint at this point. I made paint. So there's that. But anyway, it was fun. Little bonding time. We're glad that you were able to join us, and we hope that you join us on the next round of, well, I guess just us talking. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye, y'all.